Welcome to oil analysis part 2. My fault, I kind of screwed up. I got my oil analysis back and I'll show that to you guys. There was a couple anomalies in it. One of the things it said was that it wasn't all the same motor oil, which is true because I drained it into a pan and then from there into the little sample jar, etc., etc. It didn't go straight from the oil pan into the sample bottle. So I screwed that up. Otherwise, it was actually pretty good, except for one really weird thing. As far as metals go, everything was normal except I think it was molybdenum and magnesium. And oddly enough, and we're going to talk about this, there's another guy who's doing oil samples and having them analyzed. His was the same way. The biggest thing in my oil sample was it came back with a lot of gasoline in the oil. Like a lot, like over 5%. I'm wondering if that wasn't due to my idiocy and my contamination, or if it has something to do with the power commander, which was in here with the custom map on it. So a real quick lesson in what you're going to find when you get your aftermarket pipe and whatever kind of fuel commander you're going to use. Those pipes backfire a lot, and on the dirt bike in a single cylinder, they backfire a lot and loud. And one of the ways that you can get rid of that backfire is by injecting fuel into the cylinder with the throttle closed. So remember, this is all electronic for the most part. It's a throttle position sensor, blah, blah, blah. Computer runs everything. So what they do is they inject fuel into the airstream when the throttle is closed. What that does is cools the air running through your pipe, so when it picks up air either here or sometimes at the connectors, if you have a slip-on, if it picks up a little air in there, the backfire happens in your muffler and it ignites. So this is kind of counterintuitive. By adding fuel into the mixture cools your exhaust, and when it gets back here it's not hot enough to ignite, and therefore it will not backfire. It'll solve the backfire problem. I'm wondering, and I don't know, if that's what's going on or if that's what happened. So NetMage, he has a bone stock CRF450L, and his came back with gas in the fuel mixture as well. So I don't know if this is a Honda thing, or I'm not real sure what's happening, but the problem is, obviously, if you put gasoline in your oil, gasoline, what do you use to wash oil off with? Gasoline, right? So it will it'll dilute your oil, it'll drop the viscosity way down, and oil is meant to cling and stick to the parts of your motor. Gasoline will wash that right off. So you'll end up with more wear. Now again, all the other numbers in the oil analysis that I got back were good. Everything was normal. Nothing was excessive. So if this has been happening for the last 44 miles, it hasn't done any damage. So I'm wondering if it doesn't have more to do with the power commander. So as you guys know, I just put in the vortex. I think I probably have, it can't be 100 miles on it. It can't be 100 miles on it on the vortex. So I'm going to do an oil change. I'm going to send out another sample. I'm going to run however many miles I do. I'm going to run however miles I can on the vortex. I'm going to do another oil change, and then we're going to see if it's the power commander is dumping too much gas in, or something else is going on, leaky fuel injector, right, dripping whenever. But there are a lot of other reasons why you could have gas in your oil. This just seems the most obvious to me. So that's the plan for right now. We're going to change out the oil. So to that end, I went out and I got the Works Connection oil change Jabberoni, and we're going to change the oil using that. Basically, you tip the bike over and this goes, well, you know what, I'm just going to shut up. I'm just going to show you. And this will be the new way we're going to change the oil from now on. And that way I can control the oil and it'll go right into the sample jar instead of all over the place. The other reason for using this guy is I've added a new skid plate. It's the AXP Extreme blah blah blah. Basically it's plastic and it's got a little hole cut out for your oil drain plug. And I'm putting together the video for that right now. It's kind of an update. It is such a pain in the ass to get that thing on. I don't ever want to have to take it off again to change my oil. So that is a video coming out. I've also got another video which I'm really excited to put out. Is for the Baja Designs Squadron Pro /S2 headlight for your CRF450L. Just so you guys know, and if you've been watching me long enough and you've watched my bike change back and forth between forms, I'll make a video and it might be a week, 2, 3 before I actually finally get all the editing done. Sometimes there are things in between that get in the way. Sometimes I get videos stacked up for, 3 or 4 different videos stacked up, and I'm trying to stay on a schedule of every Saturday releasing a video, unless I'm doing something like this, kind of for everybody else who actually watches the channel. I think there might be 3 of you. One of you I'm not too sure about. For those guys, these little updates will be in there. It'll be more for people who are actually kind of keeping track of what I'm doing. The rest of the videos are my normal how-tos and reviews and stuff like that. Anyway, so this is a Wednesday review kind of deal. And yeah, so I'm going to shut up. I talk way too much. I'm going to shut up and we're going to change the oil. So, yay, change the oil. So much fun. Woo. All right, there we go. There's a sample. I'm going to drain the rest into the regular pan, and then we'll check it out. One of the things I wanted to mention before about having gas in your oil, you don't need to send your oil off to a lab to figure that out. All you have to do is take some oil, from your dipstick, wipe it on something, spread it out, and smell it. You'll know right away. It's obvious. The smell is obvious. So anybody out there, everybody out there, go ahead and do that. Whenever you go out and smell your oil, and then in the comments say yay or nay. Does it smell like gas or not? And then if it does, if it does or it doesn't, tell me. Are you stock? Do you have a pipe? Do you have a fuel commander? Do you have a Vortex ECU on it? What exactly are you running? And maybe we'll get like a poll going. All right, so remember, you're changing your oil, you're running it for a couple minutes, getting it hot, shutting it off, letting it cool down, letting everything run down to the bottom. And once you get it in position to do your drainage, right, we're gonna let her out. And I gotta tell you, this oil at 600 miles is looking pretty green, like brand new oil. The other thing you've got to remember to do is stand your bike up, right? Shake it out a little bit, get it out of all the cracks and crevices. Get all the bad oil out. So that's pretty much it. I already made the how to change your oil video. Go check that one out. It's pretty simple. We're going to be using, again, the Motul 300 factory ester core. Blah bitty blah. Ridiculously expensive. And K&N oil filter. I just read somewhere that High Flow actually bought out K&N. The difference is that the K&N filter has more pleats in it, which is always a good thing. I don't know how true that is, but I read it on the internet, so. All right. I'm gonna get to work. I want to get this finished. So that's my Wednesday update. Right? What are we all gonna do tonight? As soon as we see this video, we're all gonna run out. We're going to pull our dipstick out, and we're going to smell our oil, and then down in the comments we're going to say yes gas smell, no gas smell, pipe, no pipe, Power Commander, JD, Vortex, whatever fuel management system you have working, or bone stock, whatever, it doesn't matter. Remember, the other guy, and I'll put a link to his video again somewhere up here, bone stock, and he had high gas in his oil too, so it might be a Honda thing. It might not be related to anything else, but I wanted to make sure. So, all right. I'm making a video of me changing my oil. Oh, who'da thunk? Who'da thunk it? Okay.